All right, in today's news, we're going to talk a little bit about the Dallas Cowboys' final decisions to really, if you look at the complete picture of what Mike McCarthy done did with this particular roster as it relates to coaching, he only kept two from the Jason Garrett administration, Doug Nussmeier and Kellen Moore. Those were the only two. Everybody else been tossed into the fire to never return. Now, he did reach back and got Skip Peete, and we did our research on that. I think that that Maurice Lindquist probably be one of the best hires out of the whole situation. I love the way he's thorough and the way he breaks down things. So collectively looking at everything from Mike Nolan, Lindquist, to Al Harris, to the new wide receiver coach, to the actual fact that you keep Doug Nussmeier, you get rid of the offensive line coach and you bring in Joe Philbin. And also, you look at everything and you get, of course, with the Kellen Moore situation, we can say to ourselves, man, Kellen Moore was a great spark for us last year. It's just that some of the old Jason Garrettism came back. We don't know how much they coddled and held on and made love to the fact that they wanted Jason Witten to be out there on the field. The snap counts, just look it up. The plays that he was able to run, just look it up. Now we can see all of that love affair gone. We can see, especially with the running back situation, there were some games that we saw that it was too much of cronyism going on. Too much of nepotism going on with Gary Brown. We love him. But love don't win you games. The reality of it, Cowboy Nation, we needed that hard-nosed guy to come into the mix to say, okay, Ezekiel, the main man, Elliott, okay, we love what you are able to do, but we're going to use you in multiple ways. And we're going to get Tony Pollard involved. I'm thinking that some way along between now until the regular season start, there may be a fullback to enter into the scene. Now, the video that I did last night, going into details of what Dez Bryant wanted to do, wanting to come back into this system, wanting to be back into the fold or what have you. My thing is bring Dez Bryant back in for a cup of coffee and see where his mind at as it relates to remuneration. How much money you willing to give up for Dez Bryant, you see? Is it veterans minimum? Is it just above $1 million is what you really want to pay the man? And for me personally, just for me, if Dez Bryant want to play Dallas Cowboys football, if he want to play football for the America's team, he's going to have to be out there for training camp. Yes, he's going to be out there for Oxnard. Yeah, volunteer workouts. He would need to be there. And I would love to see the brother throw up the X because we miss that X, a little bit. But if he's not able to do that, then it's Saranada. I don't want to see him. That's just me. Because the last thing that we would want is for the kid to show up and thinking that he's going to be ready week 1, week 2, week 3, and beyond. Now, there's another topic out there that Stephen A. Smith brought up and caught my eye just a little bit. He was talking about the fact that when you look at Kansas City Chiefs roster, he was saying that, yes, Pat Mahomes is good. Good. Matter of fact, I'm lying. Pat Mahomes is great. But we can't discount his weapons. That heel kid that can take the top off the defense, can get the separation in and out of his cuts and breaks is second to none. The kid is just that explosive. And then you have his other crew of assassins that's just explosive as well. And those guys are not me guys. Everybody's singing and in unison. And especially when you think about it, that the tight end, everything that we want to become of Blake Jarwin is what Travis Kelce is. We would love to see Jarwin do those type of vertical concepts, those type of routes, and taking up the middle of the field. And not just that, also, Kelce can block. So we're looking at everything from A to Z. But what he was lamenting is the fact that, yes, Pat Mahomes is great. But with those levels of weapons that he got, man, it makes him even better. So are the Cowboys that far apart? Now, one can say, Law, I want some of that stuff you smoking. to mention Dak Prescott and Pat Mahomes in the same sentence. But if we can get some margins, hear me out, of what Pat Mahomes can do from Dak Prescott, and you couple that, because our first round draft pick was Ezekiel Elliott. If you couple that with Ezekiel Elliott and you elevate Ezekiel Elliott and surround him with some football guys, with some football knowledge, what have you, because we've seen for 10 years, 13 if you're really counting, the offensive coordinator situation, of us losing out, wasting talent, you say. And I'm thinking with my mind, and I'm thinking that for those who really are not on the fence with this situation and can understand it and see it from a clear as eye view, shout out to Jaden Smith, is that if a coach can scheme this situation up and you add the spices and everything into it, just like in Ezekiel Elliott with the Tony Pollards of the world, that we can go real far. Law, where are you getting this stuff from, man? You crazy, Law, you crazy. Boy, you crazy, Law. Well, I'm getting it right from the 49ers. I'm getting it right from them. Their running backs are running and running and running. And it's not just by chance. It's all scheming. And that's football knowledge. That's football pedigree. And Shanahan, the son of the Kyle Shanahan, the son of Mike Shanahan, whatever you say, is pulling his resources from his father. Football legacy is being passed down. Because remember, Shanahan, the 1.0, the father, was able to take some talent from these running backs and elevate, and get something out of them off of scheme. Every year during the Broncos land, they would say, man, just put any running back in that system, they'll give you 1,000. So what I'm trying to say, although Mike McCarthy is a like a pass first type of offense, basically West Coast offense, nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is that sometimes when you look at the total picture, you can say to yourself, if we were able to run the rock with Ezekiel Elliott with schemes, man, oh man, football is a copycat league. And I'm going to tell you guys, at the start of the last decade, kind of like in the middle, the Cowboys were the people, or were the team that was running the rock. We were the ones that going out there drafting the offensive linemen. We were the ones that was a run first team. And they perfected it. Those other teams like the Seattle Seahawks of the world, they perfected that thing. Oh, let's just run this rock. Let's not put our quarterback in adverse situations. Yes, the league is turning into a pass-happy league, but let's just run the rock. They got some Super Bowls out of it, right? Also, when you look and you fast forward a little bit into the LA Rams, what have you, they was running the rock, you see. They was running the rock, but they fell off a little bit. But let me just slide right back to this right quick. To 2017, and I hate to mention it, but I got to bring out the facts. Law, I'm not going to try to sit here and lie to kick it. When the people that's sitting up in my inbox and they hit me up and talking about fly, Eagles, fly, I hate to bring this up, but it wasn't fly, Eagles, fly. No, that Eagles team, they was run, Eagles, run. They was toting the rock, running the rock. Three-head monsters at some times, but majority of the time it was the two running backs that was doing their deals out there. Scheme! It's something about being able to run, taking care of the clock, and we were able to see the 49ers win a playoff game by running the rock. And if you really think about it, the year the Atlanta Falcons went to the Super Bowl and folded up like a lawn chair, they was up 28-3. What happened? They moonwalked away from the run. And Shanahan, he learned from it. And he said, you know what? I'm going to run this rock now. So that's what I'm trying to say. To make a long story short, is that, and although Kansas City Chiefs, they can win in multiple ways. Shout out to Eric Bieniemy. He's doing his job out there of creating packages and creating situations for them to succeed. And then on top of that, they can run the rock. They do some reverse sweeps and these sorts of things, but they surprise you with multiple players because all of these wide receivers are fast. They are, but they know how to get the quarterback in rhythm. And then on top of that, if you look at everything from A to Z, hey, you got Pat Mahomes too, who can throw on his knees farther than most quarterbacks can on their 2 feet with accuracy. Probably close his eyes, can hit the target better than most. So the guy was created in a lab. He was made in certain ways and different ways. We get that. And of course, I would be crazy and foolish to forget about the Tennessee Titans. Although, situation happened to them, but their philosophy and their formula worked. It did. And what I'm trying to say, Cowboy Nation, is that we are no different. Did anybody see the Tennessee Titans coming this fast and this far? Although they didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but it was still an accomplishment for them. They made it further than the Dallas Cowboys did in 25 years, basically, collectively speaking. But when we look at this team from A to Z, we are not that far apart. What I'm trying to say is that with new coaching staff, with new philosophy, we know that for sure that Ezekiel Elliott is nasty, a dog. And last year he set out in Oxnard, which we understood the man wanted to get his bag. He wanted to get his paper. The brother don't have commercials after commercials after commercials like the other star running backs do because of the situation with the young female and Roger Goodell sticking his toe in the water. Because if anything with Ezekiel Elliott, if he was supposed to be suspended, why let the man play his rookie year if that's the case? In a scenario, you see, if it happened while he wasn't even in a Dallas Cowboys uniform, they just hated on the brother, and that's okay. I understand the collective picture with the Cowboys on top. Let's knock them down. Let's face the reality. Jerry Wayne Jones had his foot all in his mouth, with the situation with Roger Goodell, and when Roger Goodell's want to be able to attack, Roger Goodell looking at the situation like, oh, you trying to take millions of dollars from me? And that little war battle went on and on and on. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes, man. There are debates and wars that we don't see that's in the NFL over naming rights, split remunerations, money, and all other things that we don't even be privy to, you see. But, it'll go over most people's head, and they don't understand why a tripping call, a phantom tripping call, or a phantom hold call, or no hold call would be called, you see. People get petty, especially. I don't know about you all, but if somebody trying to take $45 million from me, don't you think that I'm going to pull up the phone and say, hey, don't call that play right there. Oh, call that play right there. Y'all don't think that's not going on? I don't want you guys to be that gullible. It is. It's going on. It's going down. And on the flip side, Jerry Jones, Roger Goodell might have told him, hey, don't speak on this topic yet. Don't say this. We got you on this. And Jerry Wayne said, you going to try to tell me what to do? You made $45 million. That's cool. I'm a billionaire with a B. Don't you think that type of stuff is going on? Oh, I would be foolish to not, right? Come on, Cowboy Nation. We smarter than that. We know that the catch, no catch was a situation, right? We know that. We know that the tripping calls and all that stuff was a situation. But neither here nor there. That's just how it goes, you see. You think that for sure that the reason why Carmichael or whatever the guy named Harold Carmichael was in the Hall of Fame before Drew Pearson is not a jab at another jab at the Cowboys collectively? They can't look at this and say, well, in this Hall of Fame edition, we will be putting 3 out of the 15 guys in the Hall. No. We can't put Jimmy Johnson. Oh, we can't put the other kid in, Harris. No, we can't do that. Cliff Harris. No, we can't put Andrew Pearson. No. Oh, man, let this brother wait for another 2 years, maybe 3. Damn it, we will put 5 on there. That's how they're looking at everything. It's all politics. It's all political football. It's all about controlling the narrative. It's all about, hey, no big eyes, no little U's. No. Cowboys define and defy all of that stuff. Look, just think about where we are located at geographically. Cowboys are located in the West. There's nobody else in this world can come from another planet and say, well, if this is considered the East Coast, why in the world the Cowboys are playing in that division? If anything, the Cowboys should be a Southern team or what have you and play in the NFC South. But the money, the grab, the bag, don't you know we bring in the revenue? We are the veins, the main artery of the NFL. Hey, for all of the Eagles fans, for all of the Washington Redskins fans, and all of the Giants fans, when you wear your Nike sports apparel, or when you go buy anything that's on the outside of the stadium that have your initials or logos on it, got to thank Jerry Wayne Jones for that. He was the reason. He started that situation, personalizing branding and also building stadiums, individual stadiums funded by the state and the city, and not using your own remuneration. That comes from Jerry Wayne Jones, a multi-billionaire, maybe by the time we all dead and gone, be a multi-trillionaire organization. Trillions. The LA Rams, the Coliseum that they're building, whatever it may be, the situation that they're building down there in Vegas land, that's Jerry Wayne. Matter of fact, he is using his company, his model. See, Jerry Jones is not just a football man of the Dallas Cowboys. He's a philosopher. He's a builder, making remunerations from the Atlanta station, the Mercedes-Dome Stadium, making remunerations now, dare I say, the Vegas Stadium. And also, he's going to make money from the Coliseum, whatever they build in L.A. That, and of course, we can't leave out Arlington. Hey, everybody love to see that stadium. Everybody love it. But for those who live in that area, hate it. The taxes are sky high. The parking situation is crazy. The roads or infrastructure can't really be stable enough. Why? Arlington is a vertical city. You can't go in and out of Arlington like you can of, dare I say, of Dallas. It's not even built for that. Matter of fact, you got Six Flags out there too. So the infrastructure is not designed and built, and the people are very upset. But Jerry Jones still collect his coins. Property value. The property value and the property taxes out there sky high. Sale taxes sky high. But for people that watch it on TV don't know how to identify with that, you see. So football is more deeper than what people can actually see. It got so many intangibles in it. So I don't know when they're going to have another Super Bowl out here, but they're going to have to fix the infrastructure. All of that goes into play. They're going to have to build better hotel rooms and these sorts of things. That's why they build Texas Live out there. Let that sink in. Texas Live is still new, still young. But the Super Bowl should be here at the voting committee, and everybody else look at the tax dollars and everything and say, okay, the state revenue and the city revenue, the mayor who gets the extra bag that's under the table. Yeah, they're going to start voting. The governor for Texas, they're going to start sitting there saying, hey, we need that another drive again. We need that push. And it will happen. It will happen. But I just want to be able to say that with this team, everybody was thrown into the fire. Not the lake of fire. But it's like, my God, Vach Lombardi said, Law, he ready to burn down the house. Well, they burned down the house, so they only saved 2 kids out of it. Doug Nussmeier and Kellen Moore. So what we want to see is what Kellen Moore can do now with the help of Mike McCarthy. I'm thinking that Kellen Moore, if he's the wizard, if he's the whiz kid, he's going to look at the 2 teams that's in the Super Bowl now and pull resources from them. And there's nothing wrong with pulling resources, pulling sources and these sorts of things. There's nothing wrong with it, because in my opinion, you guys can have different thoughts. Remember, those convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. So I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just trying to put out what I'm thinking. And what I'm trying to say is, we're not that far apart. We're not. I know people are going to say, man, Law, I want to smoke what you smoking. I want to drink what you drinking. So I could be thinking just like you at this point. But no, we're not. If anybody saw the Titans coming, did you see that team coming that fast and that far? Did you guys really outside of the 49ers land? Did you really see the 49ers going to the Super Bowl this year? One can argue and say, well, yeah, I saw the Chiefs coming. I saw them coming a mile away. And you can have that argument. But what did they do to improve everything this past offseason? They bolstered up that defense. They made some structure changing. You see, they moved some things. They flipped some things around, brought in a different type of coach, I believe. Rolled in a whole new scheme, schematics and all these sorts of things, right? And it happened for them, which kudos to them. Because if the other team were to capitalize better, then they could have been out as well. Shout out to the Texans. Shout out to the Tennessee Titans. But they couldn't hold that lead. But what I'm trying to say, because Pat Mahomes is not that nasty, but what I'm trying to say is, collectively speaking, is that we are not that far apart. So let that sink into your mental, Cowboy Nation. If you like what you heard today, hit that like button, share this content. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a foe where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and Beyond. Let's continue to grind. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go.